Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Leo Effects. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful month so far. I know I am, and I know my guest today is going to have a wonderful month as well. And he is here to chat about one of the best songs I've heard in a hot minute. Right up there, one of the top ones I've heard in a while. So let's go ahead and bring out our guest for today. And for the next 30 minutes, we are going to learn all about the Jared Stout Band. So please give a warm welcome to Jared Stout.
Hey,
Hello,
hey,
sir. How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Oh man, so today is a big day for you. You've got a release today, right?
Um, so we've got a single that is processing into the releases today. So we're working on getting that out full force, and that thing is a, as you said at the beginning, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. It's a great song. It is going to get people really hooked on the music and what we're doing for this next album. We're very excited about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's talk about that for a second. Like, you know, I'm thinking like from the description I was given, your genre, if it can be really like nailed down into one thing, your genre is like an alt country. Would you say that's pretty accurate? Or like, how would you describe your brand of music?
So we like to call we play Appalachian rhythm and blues. We are a bunch of mountain men from the state of Virginia who all groove in a different way. You know, everybody vibes to music in their own space, and we've all been through different times in our lives where we enjoy different things. You know, there everybody's got the moment when they headbang to metal going to work, and then they listen to pop on the way home or whatnot. But so our ideal is that we just make music that comes to us naturally and what we love to do, and it's always very rhythmic. It's always very emotional, and it gets you moving. It'll get you in your feels, but you can't knock the fact that we are from the mountains and we are from around here, and there is a twang in there. So you got to be in the folk or the country or whatnot. So Appalachian rhythm and blues is what we like to call ourselves. A lot of people have related us to folk rock.
Okay, yeah, folk rock's pretty. Uh,
Neither all
yeah,
country good, folk rock. As long as people enjoy what we're doing, we're real happy campers because we're having a good time.
absolutely. And so you were kind of touching on it a little bit about how you're, all mountain men, music comes to you naturally. You know, when people talk about folk rock and things like that, I imagine in like bluegrass, banjos, that kind of thing. But so was music just always in your life? Have you just always done music, or was it something that was introduced to you, like your parents wanted you to learn the violin or something?
No, I came out kicking, screaming, and singing. I was ready to go. So there's pictures. There's one of my favorite old home videos is me in a diaper with a plastic guitar and a cowboy hat singing old time rock and roll in the living room. And so I mean it's in there. You know, my dad's a musician, my mom's a musician, and so it just in the blood, in your genetics, everything that you do, and that's what I've always done. That's what's always driven me.
Nice. I imagine that they're very proud of what you become. And unfortunately, I don't have that video to share with everybody. If I did, I absolutely would. Maybe I'll find it.
I'm pretty sure my mom has this treasure trove that she's keeping a hold of, and she's waiting until she's really got her fingers crossed and cheering us on all the time for this big success, and she's gonna sell them all to TMZ and get a new house or something like that. But
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, that's how it's got to go down.
we gotta
Uh,
make somehow. Got to get the dirt. There it is. It's the old school baby dirt.
yeah, that baby dirt. I like it. That's great. So they're pushing you. They're really excited for you. How about the rest of the band? Like, is everybody as stoked as you are that things are going in this direction?
Everybody loves playing music. We all work really hard. and we all work very hard on all this music as well. And the hard thing about that is that you put a lot of time and effort into it, and then it's done, and then traditionally you get to sit there and listen to it yourselves, and you can't put it out there, and you want to. So everybody's very excited for new music to be coming out, and new events. Us playing our first year at Floyd Fest, being from the area, that's a huge deal for us, and we're very excited to just even be included in that festival this year on the Rise competition. So everybody's ready to rock, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
Heck yeah, that's the way to do it. I enjoy that enthusiasm. Now
Got to,
we
man.
kind of
Not having fun doing it, why don't you just go? Why not do a regular 9 to 5? It's probably a lot easier.
exactly. Like, what makes you want to do this style of music rather than like you said, headbanging metal or classical or something? What is it that draws you to this?
Well, I can't sing headbanging metal, nor can I play it.
Ah,
Bass player Matt can. He's great at that. He's going to go see Cannibal Corpse this Sunday or Monday for his birthday. So he's all
nice.
about that. But it's what comes out naturally. So there's a matter of like you can force yourself to write a style of music and be like, ooh, I'm going to play this kind of music or that kind of music. But ultimately, it's still forced. Even if you write good music in that sense, it's still forced. That's not what comes out naturally. And I've always aimed to write a good song. If I'm writing a song, it's not so much it's got to be this genre, it's got to be this way. It's just got to be a good song. As long as it comes out and it sounds like me and it means something and has merit, then it's a good song. We'll play it. We'll see where it goes. Sometimes you have them that flop. Sometimes you have them that get forgotten. Here recently, we've been playing live shows, and I've been whipping out songs that we haven't played for like 2-3 years as originals. And everybody's like, "Oh man, I forgot about this song." So sometimes things go by the wayside, but writing the music, I think, flows best when you do what naturally comes from within you. And you can't write soul music without putting your soul into it. So doesn't necessarily have to be what you would consider soul music, but if you're putting your heart and soul into it and it's coming out and it's real, then it's pretty soulful to me.
Absolutely, for real. Yeah. It, I'm not familiar with a lot of folk music and things of that nature, artists that have done it before. I mean, I've heard it, I know what it is, but who did you, or who would you say kind of inspired you when you were younger?
Oh man, so this is always a fun question. Ultimately the answer is my mom. I was raised by my mom. My mom always sang around me and always introduced me to new music, and that can go from Van Halen to Dixie Chicks to Whitney Houston. And those are all common musical, presences in my life as a young kid. I also listened to a lot of hip hop and like rock and headbanger and just everything. So I think honestly, what's shaped for me music is just the flow of it and how it goes, and the catchy things in this song, or the catchy line in that, or the cool riff here and the cool riff there. Those feelings that you get when you hear those pieces of music, all play into what you would like to create as yourself. So it doesn't necessarily mean that all the music that you got your influence came from one direct place. When I first started playing guitar, I was a big Jason Mraz and Jack Johnson fan. And a lot of my guitar style came from watching those acoustic acts that were not just strumming a guitar and singing. They're playing percussively. They're adding little oohs, ahs, bips in there to make it more of almost a full thing with just one person. And that's what I really started playing guitar on. And then the writing comes from all over the place. Is impossible to pinpoint, because sometimes we have songs that I've heard an artist do a song and I was like, man, that's a really cool song. I like that. I bet you I could write a song, something like that. and it comes out, and I go, oh, this is great. And then it's even better when you hear somebody who loves that artist go, oh yeah, that sounds like, you know, such and such would do that song. And I'm like, oh cool, that's where that song influence kind of came from.
Awesome. So I'm guessing your mom didn't like walk around singing like Cannibal Corpse or Slipknot or anything like
No,
that, you know? Yeah.
no, she was not keen on those. That was not her deal. I got more into that in like high school when I was playing football and lifting weights and all that. You know, that's what's airing over the radio, and so you know that's when all that kind of sunk in.
That's fair. That's fair.
Later in life, I remember getting my first like kind of hard rock, I could say, CD. It was POD's, the one with Youth of the Nation on it, and it had an explicit thing on it. And we were listening to it in the car, and I'm, you know, jamming out, and I forget what word it is they said, and my mom was like, absolutely not, and she was like, they're not listening to this. And I was like, oh my god, it's Christian rock, mom, you know. But, so that's all been in phases. She has her influence, but she's never discouraged me from listening to music that I like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. That's a great story. I like that one. I like that a lot. Well, let's kind of switch gears a little bit and really pin down what we're here to really talk about now that we've gotten to know you just a little better.
Wee
Let's
bit.
talk about luck. Now, where did the idea for this song come from? Was it just you were sitting there one day and you're like, oh, you know what, this would be a good verse? Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
So kind of. You know, kind of. I'd had a series of just kind of bad luck runs, but like not bad luck where you're like, oh man, I'm down on hard times, bad luck. Just like, oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. You know, one after another. And I had this wild dream after all that, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I hear this song in my head. You know, that's luck. And I was like, what would I do? And I just started thinking and thinking about the small, minuscule bad luck things that had happened. And that trailed into a song. There was, you know, a real life situation in there that trailed into a bar fight. And so, you know, it's all little pieces of it, but you know, the idea is kind of a relationship based situation, because I had a lot of poor relationship luck at that point. But it includes all includes all the other day-to-day downer things that you run into. Your truck doesn't start, it rains, the mailman's late, the rent didn't come, there's no more coffee, you know. So
Gotcha.
everybody gets those bummers, and that's what luck's all about. Whether they be good luck or bad luck sometimes even.
That's cool. So this was like a relatively quick development from that dream to now it's coming out, or was this like
No.
a year, 2 years?
I wrote luck. Oh God, hold on. I gotta think. I was living up on the mountain in Giles, out in the middle of nowhere. I was living with my brother on a trailer on the actual side of the mountain. If you looked at the mountain way, you can see our trailer way up there in the corner. So that was probably 2018 that luck was written.
Oh, okay. So it's your fault that 2020 happened.
Yes, that's what it is. It is my luck. It's the luck.
It's the luck. No, I kid.
I wrote that, and we've been sitting on that one for a good bit. Actually, a lot of the songs on this album are older songs that we have played out and we have done things with. They just didn't make the first album cut. And that's how it goes sometimes, you know. I like that Chris Stapleton's "You Should Probably Leave," you know, got Grammy Awards, and he said that it sat in the file cabinet and nobody would let him put it on a record for years and years and years and years. And here it is, you know. So sometimes the old stuff is the gems.
It's true. It's very true. Now, I don't have a name for the album that's coming out. Would you mind sharing that with me?
Ooh, I would love to. The name of the album is "Heavy from the Sky."
Ooh, okay. And Luck will be on that album?
Say again?
Luck will be on that album?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And Heavy from the Sky, where's that name coming from? Where's the inspiration for that?
So "Heavy from the Sky" is actually a lyric out of Luck. The rain came down heavy from the sky. but it also talks about the idea that this is a little bit more of an emotional placement album. There's a lot of thought turning songs in here. There's also, jams to enjoy and have a lot of fun and move on. But a lot of it is, love songs, situational songs, heavy moments, and so that's where it comes. Heavy from the Sky. We're dropping album 2, and these are some solid songs. We're all very proud of these songs.
That's really cool. That's really,
Yeah,
really cool. I like
we
the meaning behind
crunched on
that.
quite some time, and I think everybody's very satisfied with our album title.
Absolutely. Like that just it just has a nice ring to it. I really
Right.
like that. When's that coming out?
So that's coming out in the fall. It'll
In the
come out in
fall.
the fall.
Okay.
We have Floyd Fest that we'll be doing in at the end of July for my birthday, which is rad. So if you're watching this and you're in a Floyd Fest attendee, please come out and see us there. We'll be there Saturday and Sunday in the beer garden, and come say happy birthday. Because
Heck
what's
yeah.
uh,
Heck
and
yeah.
for that, we'll be running the album campaign. We got a lot of cool stuff that we're working on this summer to push out with the album, and so we're gonna make it a lot of fun for people to get this music.
Cool. And kind of in that vein, where can people find it when it comes out? Like, is this going to be an
Anywhere,
exclusive FYE or?
only at FYE. You can only buy your single hard copy CDs at FYE. Wouldn't that be great? You can catch it anywhere. Spotify, Apple, anywhere that you're streaming. We're going to put it out there. We want you to be able to listen to these songs and enjoy them. And, typically, nudge, nudge, hint, hint, some things, drop a little early on our Bandcamp every now and again, as well as our SoundCloud. So, anybody scoping out our website, you can get those links and check them out. And there's, possibility to get things before anybody else does.
Right on, right on. And that actually was the perfect way to move us into the next part, which is shameless self promotion.
Yes.
You can take the next few moments to let people know, different links that you might know right off the top of your head. And of course, I'm going to provide the links in the description of the podcast on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else you might be listening to this podcast. So, Jared, go ahead and let people know where they can find you.
We try to make it easy for everybody. You can go right to the JaredStoutBand.com. That's Jared like the jewelry store, Stout like the beer, and band like you listen to. You can't get it wrong. You go to JaredStoutBand.com. You can check out our shop. You can get some merchandise that you can wear around. You can check out music, some live videos. We've got links to our Facebook, Instagram, any of those social media sites that you're looking for. Like I said, our SoundCloud, our Bandcamp, where you can find, some. If you go to the SoundCloud and you want to get real rowdy, you can dig in and find some real old recordings that are really fun to listen to, and you can see the progression that we've made over the years and things. But that's your best bet. The JaredStoutBand.com gives you everything that you need to get a hold of us and to watch us keep moving. We've got, like I said, Floyd Fest is coming up in the fall. We've got some events in West Virginia up at Snowshoe. I know we're back in the Richmond area, River City Roll in July. We've got Stanton, Virginia. We're playing at this new space on Tempest Bar and Lounge, which is a great place. Looks awesome. Very excited about that. Up in Arlington this weekend at the Renegades. So we're out and about back in our hometown on the 24th. I get to partner up with Mr. Joe Nichols next week and play a little acoustic music in Christiansburg, Virginia at the Sheeler Motor Mile Speedway. So that'll be nice, a little acoustic show with him, and more to come. So we're excited. We hope everybody takes the chance to follow us and check out the stuff that we're doing, because it's going to be a good ride coming forward.
Man, that's cool. I got to go back and listen to the old stuff so that I can really
Oh yeah.
appreciate the new stuff.
So one of the gems that I really don't talk about too often is if you go check out just Jared Stout on Spotify, you can look up some of the solo stuff that I've done, which one of those is the original recording at home. And the other one is actually a song that I did with my cousin called Glass Ceilings. And it's a hip hop song, which is
Ooh.
a whole different vibe of what I do. but I do drop that gem every now and again in these podcasts just for anybody who's listening and wants to see something a little different. It's cool.
That sounds cool. I'm gonna definitely go check that one out. I gotta
There's some,
hear what Jared Stout sounds like is hip hop.
yeah, you catch it. I sing the hook in there, and then I have a little short bridge that I do, and the rest of it is all my cousin Jason Diggs, very talented guy, very talented writer, and is I like doing that stuff. There's an EDM song out there somewhere that you can dig up that has me singing on it.
Oh
There's
wow.
there's all sorts of stuff.
Well, as we're wrapping things up and winding down the end of the show here, before we do our outro, I have one last quick little fun thing that I would like to do real quick. Just if you're interested, it's real quick, it's real fun, but can you share your best dad joke?
Oh my God. These are so spontaneous for me. They come up all the time. And now I'm drawing a blank. Robbie, you got a good dad joke? I got these other fools on the floor over here sleeping while we're doing this. They're taking nap time. The best dad joke I got. Oh, they always come to me in the moments, like I feel like do what?
Mine are always on the fly.
Yeah, always on the fly, but it's hard to catch them. So I mean that can be a tough one. So there's a dad joke right there. Always on the fly, hard to catch them.
There you go. See, you did it.
Got it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Well, thank you so much, Jared, for coming on the show and talking to me for the last half hour or so. It's been an absolute blast. You're high energy. Your song is amazing. I can't wait for the album because if it's anything like Luck, I'm going to dig it so hard. And I think the listeners will too. Thanks so much for coming and talking to me today.
Leo, man, thanks for having us. We got a video coming out with Luck too that was shot at a Rosie's Casino. That's going to be a lot of fun. It shows a lot of the band's personalities, so everybody be on the lookout for that along with the song. Leo, again, thank you so much for having me on here today, and I look forward to maybe seeing you again sometime.
Absolutely. Whenever you got something new coming out, hit me up.
We'll give you a holler.
All right, cool. Thank you very much again, Jared, and thank you to all the listeners and viewers who checked this out. Make sure to click the link in the podcast description and YouTube description to get over to the jaredstoutband.com and follow them on all of their social medias. Thank you all very much. See you next time. Laters.